the things up. Got hair on my lip.
Just try and get it off.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. As you can see,
Hi!
look who's back!
Me, of course.
So today we thought we would do a Q&A because, let me tell you, since we became friends, all I get asked is loads of questions like, how did you meet her? Like,
yeah.
What, like, they want to know how this has happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I thought we'd just sit down, ask you what you want to know, and then we've got quite a list of questions.
We do, yes. We both popped on my Instagram stories last night, like a question box, and you guys submitted, so we are here to answer.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, shall we get cracking?
Let's do it.
Right, so the first question, which was probably the most asked one on my story.
It was on mine as well.
Was it? Okay, is how did we become friends? I'll let you.
Well, so we both went to an event which was for Snapsaver, which is like a money saving app around Christmas 2021.
Yes.
And I walked into the room and I seen Jess in this, oh, you'll have to put the picture on.
I will.
Of this gorgeous, like, sparkly silver dress. And I remember walking in and literally, like, double taking because you were just like a little disco ball. It was so nice. Don't mean that in a rude way, but like your dress was so glittery. And I'd had a few drinks and I just went up and I went, oh my God, you look gorgeous. Or something along their lines. And then I think you were like, oh, thanks.
I'll tell you what I did, what I do remember, because that event that we were at was just bottomless cocktails. They just kept bringing them.
They did.
The thing with these events and stuff is that it's just unlimited drinks, and that can be quite dangerous for me.
Yeah, I know, same.
So I'd had a few cocktails as well, and I think because the dress that I had on had a long, like, bit that went down kind of to like your shin kind of place, and then I got up and I went, look what it does, and I swung it round.
I can't remember that.
No, I remember getting up and going, look at this, and swinging it round, and then I just thought to myself, I thought, Jess, what have you just done?
What have you just done that for?
Yeah.
I can't remember that. Yeah. I was obviously impressed.
I know, and then I think
so then after that event, I think we spoke a bit at the event. Yes. And I think I followed you on Instagram, and then once I followed her the next day, I seen you done YouTube. So I started watching some of your videos, and I loved the content. Like, literally, I'm my biggest fan now. It's same content, like, similar to me. So I was quite drawn to it. And then I think I just messaged you going, like, do you want to go for lunch? Did I not message you first and said it was so nice to meet you last night or something? Did you?
And then you'd said, do you want to go for a coffee?
Yeah, probably. Something like that.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Then our first date was at Frankie and Benny's.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
Very nice. Yeah, you had a green shirt on.
I told you. Have you made like a memory book of this?
I know, I do. I love how I remember. I think your clothes just stand out. I'm like, oh, I love how your clothes. Love the fashion.
Oh.
And yeah, then we just kept like, because I think why we became close quite quick is because we both do the same job. Jess does social media full time, I do. So any event or anything that I get invited to, I take Jess and vice versa. And then we've kind of just like, it's just went from there really. Content days, like we just do them together. And
I think if we don't see each other in a week, it's a very odd week.
Yeah. Like last week we didn't see each other, and I was like, you haven't seen her in a week. Like, I should change the hair, what you doing?
I know, yeah. But yeah, we've just been friends ever since. So that's how we met.
That's how it went. Yeah. The next question is, I got this a few times and I don't know why, but would either of you ever become friends with a fan?
So, yeah, I mean, do you know what it is? I think sometimes when the people who watch it, in general, watch it because they're into the same things that we are.
I always say that, yeah.
So like, if someone's, I don't see what the difference between being friends with just anyone would be if you've got the same interests.
I think for me, like, I hate like the word fan because it's just like weird, isn't it? But like, so people who watch my channel, I often think are very like me, like you're into the same things. So ultimately we get on really well. But one of my friends who I'm friends with now, Natalie, like watched my channel way before I knew who she was, so technically that would be that situation. But me and Nat are like really close now, so 100% for me it's like, if I get on with you, if we go out it's not awkward, if we have a good laugh then we're mates.
Yeah,
that's how I say it.
Literally the same, yeah. So in the situation with Natalie, did she say, oh my God, I'm a huge fan? Or like,
so no, so basically I put on my story before Christmas, anyone from Newcastle, like pop up, like not pop up, but like fucking respond. And quite a few people did, and Natalie was one of them, saying like, I am, what can I help with? Because no, I didn't say what it was for,
right?
Because I didn't want like loads to attract wrong, like dodgy people, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when people messages, I messaged a few of them back, and I messaged Natalie, and I noticed like she'd like messaged just a few times, she'd liked a lot of me posts, and I said, oh, like, where are you from? And we got chatting on DMs for a bit, and then again we just met, and we met at a very public place, so like I was very safe about it. But Natalie was probably one of the worst people to do it with, because she doesn't use social media at all.
Oh, really?
So like she had a few photos of herself with a Snapchat filter on, and I was like, am I being catfish? Like, is it going to be her that walks in? Luckily it was, and we clicked like so well. But she never really said how much or little of us she watched, if anything, when we first met. It wasn't until like we started going out more, and she'd mention things, and I'd be like, that was ages ago, and she'd be like, yeah, I know, I've watched you a long time. And then it kind of then I realised like she watched us way before. Obviously I knew she knew who I was because I'd put it on Instagram.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, so that's how it kind of went. But now we're really close. So I think like it's just if you click with someone, and a lot of the time people who watch your content you do click with.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Right.
Well, yeah. Yes.
Next question. Would you ever do a meet and greet? Me?
Both. Okay, you go first.
Do people do that anymore? And when I used to watch YouTube when I was like early teens, it was a big thing, meet and greets and things. Like people used to go to, is it Comic-Con, and people, there used to be big like meetups and stuff. Whereas I don't think much happen anymore.
No, I think they do, but I think it's for younger kind of YouTube watchers. Like I've did a meet and greet at somewhere in the city before, and I had my own at Wetherspoons in town. I literally just said, if anybody, it wasn't a meet and greet, but I said I'm gonna be, if anybody wants to come, and literally there was like a table of like 25 to 30 of us. But in all honesty, I probably wouldn't do them again, just because I think it's a really awkward encounter to me, because it's like then people are there to meet you, and I just feel I like meeting people in a natural environment more. Like when I'm in town and people come up, I can actually have a good chat with that person. And especially the professional meet and greets, like the summer in the city one, it was kind of like the staff there, and you can have a good chat, but it is just like, here's the next one, and I just didn't like it. I think you put people on a pedestal then, and I hate that. I just like to meet people like organically, like out and about. Plus I feel really bloody awkward at meet and greets. I don't know what to say.
I don't know how to stand.
I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I feel incredibly uncomfortable doing them, so I probably wouldn't do another. And I think like you said, they're not really I mean they are, but I don't think.
I think like,
you know what I would do like, I would arrange like a coffee morning, and I would just be like, if anybody's in Newcastle or wherever I am, you want to come for a cuppa, in a very chill, relaxed, like, let's just have a cuppa, that type of thing, I think would be something I'd prefer to do.
I think I'd probably be the same, but I think because I think I've met people like once or twice. I've met a couple of people once or twice, and it is a very strange, like, not strange, but like, I love it because I'm like, oh my god, like it's so surreal to think that somebody actually watches on the other side of the camera.
I know.
Like I know people watch, but it doesn't register properly. And then when someone actually comes up to you in person, it's like, it's such a nice feeling. But then I've also had people who say, oh, I've seen you here, and then but they haven't said anything.
Some people just don't want to come up, do they?
But I like meeting people. If you ever do see us, just say hello.
That's the way I prefer to do it. Like if I'm ever in, and I'm in town quite a lot, like on nights out, and that's where I get most people saying hello. And I just think it's much better that way. It's not awkward, like, well, I don't find it awkward. So the next question is, YouTube aside, what's been your favourite job?
So was it my first proper like 9-to-5 job? It wasn't even a 9-to-5. I worked in a call centre, right? But it was for an auction house.
Oh wow.
So that was probably the most interesting job I've had, because I learned quite a lot about like art, and it was like quite a big auction house, like a high-end auction house. So like we would watch I think I had a couple of roles in there in the time that I was there, and
Oh, he wants a cuddle.
Come to say hello.
It's like, don't put me on display like that, please, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I had a couple of roles within the auction house. The first one was like a client care, so people would ring up with like something that they had, and you had to work out what department it went to based on the artist or whatever, and then you'd just basically transfer them to the department. But you would speak to like the most, I think I've spoken to Jules Holland before, or Ellie Goulding once. I've spoken to Usher's assistant.
What the hell?
Like,
that is so good.
So Usher's assistant was something to do with watches. I can't remember what Ellie, as if I know what Ellie is. But yeah, I used to speak to some like absolutely fascinating people.
That would be so good.
Yeah, I think
that sounds so
I remember there was one auction that because sometimes you have to stay late if they start in New York. You have to stay late just in case there's any queries throughout the auction. So there's an auction in New York which starts about, I think it's 2 o'clock their time, which is like 7 p.m. here. Maybe something so about that. Might be wrong, but so we'd stay for that, and there was, do you know, have you heard of Edvard Munch, The Scream?
No.
I'll pop a picture up, but like do you know the one where it's like, it looks like an alien and it's like stood on a bridge and it's got its hands up and it's like that?
Aye, I feel like I have the picture.
Yeah. So guess how much that sold for at auction?
Oh my god. 50 grand.
$118 million.
What?
Yeah.
You bought it?
It's a private collector, which means that as it's a private collector, we'll not see it again unless they then sell it to a gallery.
Jesus. Art is like,
it's honestly, before I worked there, I wouldn't have ever considered investing in art, but if I come into money, art is the way to go.
God.
Because they'll keep that for like 5-10 years and then sell it for even more.
That's crazy, isn't it?
But it's like even just fascinating about like so like old master paintings have to be kept in like a certain temperatured room to preserve the colours and everything, and it's just absolutely, honestly, I learned so much there, and it's like a bit of a geeky topic, but like
it sounds so fun though. I think I'd have enjoyed that.
So
to be honest, my job life's a bit boring. I would say, so basically I'd done like apprenticeships with the council, and I would say working in the HR department was my favourite, simply because you got to know all the tea. Like I used to do the note taking at the disciplinaries, or even just at the tribunals, and it was interesting.
You got all the gossip.
Yeah, you did. You seen like obviously what was happening, why staff were there, and like that was probably the most exciting because I really loved knowing like what was happening. But
did you ever sit there and think like, because obviously you're note taking and things, do you ever sit there and make your own decisions about what people, whether someone's done something?
Yeah. I remember there was this one guy who worked there for like 20 years. He'd been there really long, and we were doing the note take. I was doing the note taking, and this was like the 4th meeting we'd had, right? Because he kept, it went on for, I think it went on way beyond I even was in HR. Like it went on so long, and basically the ICT team had a flag that he's 8-hour working day. I think 6 of that, they had evidence was on actual sites not working, so shopping sites, like so much, and they just had like significant evidence that he was coming into work late as well, because he would say he was starting on his timesheet at like just say 9 o'clock, but he wasn't coming into the car park till 11, and he didn't have enough evidence to say where he was for that 2 hours. There was no meeting scheduled, he didn't have a laptop at home, so obviously the council were like saying, you haven't been at work, and his like union and him were going on, but I was like doing loads of things, and like it was honestly like, it was one of them scenarios where like it's hard, because how do you know he genuinely wasn't doing paperwork or something out, but like I kind of feel he wasn't, but obviously like it was really interesting. And then there was loads of wheelie bin men always in tribunals because they'd hit people's car, members of the public were in, they weren't safely driving. Honestly, the most people that were in was probably the wheelie bin drivers. So, but I really did find that interesting. I loved working in HR, but other than that, they've just been like standard office.
Yeah, because I think when you say HR, people think, all right, HR. But like when you learn the tea about everyone.
Yeah, when you're in the meetings, and then when you see them around the office as well, it's like,
I know what you've done.
yeah, I'd done like an 18-month apprenticeship with them, and then I moved on to a different company. So yeah,
love that. Best life advice you ever received?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't feel like I receive much from people. Like my mum will often tell us nice things. But like my mum will often give us advice. Okay, so there's two.
Okay.
Right. One of them is just a quote that I really like, but it's kind of still something I've read. It's not really advice I received, but my favourite quote, comparisons the FIFA joy. Because I just think it totally is. Like, I just think I do not relate to a quote as much as that. Because, like, I think every aspect of your life can be compared.
Yeah.
And if you do it, which I think everybody does at some stage in your life, you compare something, it is the FIFA joy, because literally, like, you can look at who's got better, who's doing better than you, what they've got that you haven't, and you're not happy if you compare.
Yeah.
That's my favourite quote. But this sounds really bad, but I was watching a Laura Lee video once, right? And the one thing she said, which just made it stand out to me, is that motivation comes from doing. And I didn't really think much about it first, but then I realised when I'm sitting on the sofa not doing anything, I become so demotivated.
Yeah.
The minute I stand up and do the littlest of task, like emptying the dishwasher, I'm instantly in a roll of doing stuff.
Yeah.
So I think her advice around it was just get up and do what you want to do, and it will come. Like, you sit there and you're like, I've got no motivation, but it comes from doing. So like,
that's so true.
I know.
You don't even think about it there, but yeah.
So she was like, I'm not her biggest fan on Out, but like, I just was watching this video once, I think it was a declutter or something, and she said it, and I was like, okay, wow. I was like, you've hit us a nerve there, because I'm that one that sits there and goes, I've got no motivation, but actually I'm not doing now to get it. So and honestly, like, I do it all the time now. I'm like, right, just get up and do, and I'm fine. What about you?
Mine's more of a quote as well, actually, that I've, because like you, I don't think people don't really give us advice as such, but one of my quotes that I like about sort of life in general is, the things that didn't work out for you really did work out for you. So it's almost like one door has to close for another to open, and kind of like things work out the way they're supposed to be.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, yeah.
So that's probably what I think. If I think about something that's gone wrong in my life, I think, well, that has to have happened in order for me to start something else.
Yeah.
So
I agree with that. Yeah, that's a good one. I do like that.
That's my favourite little quote.
Yeah, because actually that works so true for me, because I remember I kind of got sacked from my last job, and it was like, I didn't get sacked, but there was a query going on, and I just handed me notice in randomly, when I probably would have prolonged it a bit if nothing was happening, but I didn't. I ended up just handing me notice in, and I probably wouldn't have got like the opportunities in that I did from YouTube, and wouldn't have sustained it if I didn't. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, another one. Sorry, I'm thinking, right? But all of the times me and Sean went to buy a house, and it always fell through for work. And I think if I had gotten one of the first houses we looked at, which would have been 2 years before the one we actually bought, I would never ever have left a 9-to-5 job for YouTube, because I would have been too scared of, because I had like, what would it be, like, I would have regular payments that I had to pay, whereas when I lived at my mum's, I didn't have to consider that. So I think, I like it. I like that.
So, next question.
Yeah, the next question is, would either of you choose to live abroad in the future?
So, I think it's something that I probably would do, but then I wouldn't. So like, I like the thought of living abroad. However, I don't think I could give up what I've got here to move abroad. I've got too much, like my family, my friends. I think the area that we live in, Newcastle's got everything. You've got your beach, your town set, like your good nightlife. You've got the like Northumberland and that dead close, and like, I don't see the need to move. But it would be nice to live in like a hot country. Just to like,
to do it. No, always growing up, I was moving. I was adamant. I was not living in England, the UK. Like, I hated it, even Newcastle. But as I got older, I realised that was just me being a silly teen. Like, I literally love Newcastle. Like, it's so weird, but I'm the same as you. I think we have everything here. We'll have an amazing nightlife. We'll have a city. We'll have a bit of country. We can go to the beach in 10 minutes. Like, everything is on the door, which I just think you don't get. And then also, like my friends, my family, could never leave me family. I'm very family orientated, and now I have me dogs, me house. So, like, no. I would go on an extended travelling trip,
yeah,
happily, like, if I could sort things out, if the dogs could come, if we'd done it in the van or something, like, you know, as long as everyone was catered for, I would definitely go away for an extended trip, but I would not live anywhere in, like, I would say the next 10 years, definitely not.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. There's no need. We're all right here.
Yeah.
So,
no, we agree on that one.
Yes. How are you both?
Cute question.
I like that question. Just like it, you know.
Generalised. How are you? How are you, love?
How are you?
How are you? I'm fine. I'm fine. No, I honestly am fine at the minute. Like, I feel like 2022 I've been just great.
Yeah.
I don't like saying that because I feel like people who aren't, it make, like, I feel horrible saying it, but I am fine.
Yeah. I think I'm probably the best I've been in a very long time.
Same.
Because, like, I think maybe it's 2020, you know, we all went through a pandemic, didn't we? And it's alright if you're still living that.
Yeah.
And still, like, having the impact from it. Yeah,
I feel like it just taught us so much, didn't it? Like, it really taught me. I was a homebody through and through. I would never go out because I just liked being in the house. But since COVID, I love going out now. Like, any night out, I'm on it. Anytime someone wants to go out for coffee, brunch, I'm there. And I just think it changed my perception of things quite a lot. And, but I think I'm enjoying life much more because of that. Like, I love going out with my friends and even showing at the local. Like, I love it all. But I never done it. And I don't know if I needed to do it.
Yeah, I think when we went into, like, those lockdowns and things, it just kind of showed you what we had that we didn't realise that we had. Once it's been, it's like, you know, you don't realise what you've got until it's gone.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing, and then you start to appreciate those little bits.
100%. I think out of it, I definitely grew a lot more appreciation for everything that I had, and I think that just made us, like, much happier because I think as well, like, before COVID, I was always like, oh, I'm not living in London, like, I'm not doing all of this, like, extravagant things. And, like, I was comparing a lot, but now I'm just like, you know what, like, I'm happy with life, and yeah, we're both happy.
We're happy. So, the next one.
The next question is, what would be your best money saving tip?
So, I mean, as you're on my channel, you might know that I do the cash stuffing things. Obviously, everyone works different with like their money and stuff, but for me, dealing in cash has been the biggest game changer for me because I'm so much of a, like, if it's on my card, it's not real to me. It's almost like Monopoly money. You're just tapping, you don't really realise how much you're spending. When you've got to physically part with that cash, it's a different story. So yeah, that's, I mean, some people don't want to deal in cash and things, but for me, and money saving, doing things in cash and putting aside what you want to save for the month, and then looking at what you've got left and say, okay, well, this is all I've got. So, you know, the only time I would ever dip into a savings would be for if, like, I had no food. Or, like, you know, an actual emergency.
I think I don't do that, but I would like to. I watch your stuff and videos every month, and I'm like, oh, I wish I could do that, but I'm not in that mindset yet. I think what I do is I worked out when we got the house and stuff, like, exactly what my outgoings were a month, personal and joint, so I know what my outgoings are. So the money that I'm left with, I always work out what do I need, what do I want that month, like, or what do I feel I need to spend. Have I got anything coming up, like a night out or anything that I know I need to cater for? And I honestly just kind of, like, try and pre-predict what I'm going to need, and then I literally keep it as that and put the rest away. But saying that, I'm very bad, so I'm not the best to give advice to money saving at the minute because I'm not very good at it. I used to be, but things just spiraled out of hand, and
I think it's hard at the minute as well because everything has gone up in price, and, like, it is difficult. And so if you're not in a position to save, then, like, don't think that that's wrong.
I think I do double. Now I'm trying to be more aware of what I'm buying, and I double think, like, do I really need this Fabulosa new scent cleaner, or have I got 10 in the house that I could use? So I'm trying to be more just little aware of things like that.
But I think you're right that working out what you've actually got coming in and what your set bills are going out will give you more of an idea of, like, what you've got, rather than just, like,
kind of like, that's helped me. Also, what's helped me is like, pre-planning meals. I know you probably did this for ages, but something we didn't do when we moved into the house was plan meals. We'd go to the grocery shop and literally buy what the hell we wanted, frozen pizzas, like, anything and everything. We were like kids. Like, our first grocery shop was 300 quid. It was awful. And I look back at that video now and the food we got and I'm like, what meals did you fucking have? You didn't.
Yeah.
We literally had freezer stuff. It was minging. So now that's saved us so much money. Well, our based, if we were on track, right? So our based, right, we're a couple living in a house, and our based, if I was on track on what she spends. So I would go to Sean. I've literally gone to Sean every shop. Well, Jess spends about £30–40 a week, so us spending 80 between where I think's right. And he would go, why are you going off here? And I'm like, well, because I'm just seeing if we're like on normal like So I think now we've cut it down a lot. Like last week I think we spent 60 quid.
That's really good.
I was really happy with that. But I did forget me baby pouches. So.
It does depend on what you're buying, because like if you sometimes when you need to do a full restock, it'll obviously be more expensive. And then if you like buying things like pasta will last. Do you know what I mean? Like
a while. And we've stopped, like, because he only eats meat, I don't eat meat. So if he gets the big trays of chicken, because the big ones are cheaper, we'll just freeze it. So then the next week or for a few weeks after, we don't need to get the chicken. So it does depend on what you're out of stock with and stuff. But yeah, I think that has helped us save money considerably. Which, to be honest, a lot of households probably do that, but we didn't. So
yeah, we do now.
Yeah, I do.
Who comes up with the ideas for collabs? How do they work?
Yeah, I got a lot of questions about how, like, when you collab with people, how does it work, who comes up with it. So basically just, well, you were getting quite a lot of comments about would you ever do sit down videos together, weren't you?
Because we've been in each other's like weekly vlogs and stuff before, but I think we haven't done sit down videos until like today. So I think...
And then you put on your story if we were going to do one, what would you do? And then I just went, well, why don't we do a content day? You were like, okay.
So I think, we just think, well, what do we want to do? But I think in terms of like, do you know when you previously see YouTubers who probably aren't friends beforehand doing collabs?
So that happened with me a few times. So when I went and met Emily Canham to do the collabs, I'd never met her before, and she was doing a collab week on our channel, and she just asked us if I wanted to be part of it, which I did. It was a really good video. So that's how that happened. I'd never met her, but we became friendly after that. Like she was lovely and stuff, but I was so nervous because I said, what if you just don't get on camera? You can tell. Do you know what I mean?
Can tell, can't you?
But when you're friends, like me and Jess were obviously friends, then we organically were in each other's like weekly vlogs. It was kind of just like people are asking, do you want to do content? We'll do it. When we just come up with ideas we thought that would work, and we're asked on Instagram what would people want to see.
Because I think, because we've both been asked a couple of times, and I've been asked quite a lot, would you ever do a sit down video? I was like, well, what do you want to see? Like, what do you want to see? Like, yeah, I do one, but like, what
is it you want? So then, like, the way we planned today, we decided today we would just do like a bulk filming. So we've got 8 videos because we're doing 4 on each channel, but we worked it out in a way that kind of went organically. So we did our makeup for a makeup video before this one. This is a Q&A. And we've worked it out where it's it'll go organic, or should go organic throughout the full day. And we're doing the morning at Jess's, and then we're going the afternoon at mine. And yeah, like, we just work it out so you have an equal amount of videos, so that you are both getting a fair share of content out of it. So Jess will have 4, I'll have 4. You might do a reel here and there, a photo, just whatever kind of naturally flows throughout the day. And yeah, that's how it works.
I was going to say it's like what's it called, batch cooking. Just like, so like sometimes, because obviously I upload 3 days a week, but sometimes if I run out of ideas or something, I'll just take someone out of the freezer, stick that on.
So you'll just have a video to upload, because that's the way we'll do it. Some collabs will work where you'll agree a date and a time and your videos will both go live, but me and Jess have said we're not bothered about that. So when Jess feels she hasn't got a video for a week, she'll just upload one of the ones we filmed, and same for me. Mine will probably go 4 in a row because I'm very lazy. No, just kidding, they won't. But so like that's how we've decided to kind of upload it. But you can do it anyway. You can agree a date and time and upload it, or whatever you fancy.
That's how that works.
The question is, who is older?
What do you think? Stick it in the comments. Let's give them a chance.
Oh my god.
Are you for it? Okay. I'm older.
I
am older.
Not by much though.
No, I'm 28.
28. I'm going to be 26 in June. So a few years. A few school years older than us.
Do you know what it is though? I don't like feel late 20s.
No.
When people say, oh, you're in the late 20s. When I used to look at people in the late 20s, I think, oh god, you're getting on. And now I'm there, I'm like, no.
No, I agree. I think as you get older, like age does, like, one of my friends, Caitlin, I'm sure she's only 21, 20. Then obviously you're 28, Natalie's 22. So I have, like, I think as once you're over the kind of like 20 mark, I think it doesn't really matter, like, does it?
It's, for me, it's not the actual physical number, it's more the like mental age of someone.
How
so,
you
like,
get on with them.
Is being a YouTube creator stressful? Have you ever doubted yourself?
I'll let you go first.
So I think because we'll probably have two different, not necessarily different views, but like, because I'm still fairly new to it, I've only been doing it like, I've only been doing YouTube like a year. So I think once I got my schedule and things, it becomes more manageable and things, whereas I think, because when I first started, I uploaded videos every single day. That was stressful. That was very, very stressful, because I think sometimes people don't really know whether to consider content creation as a job or not. Whereas I do, because I know what goes into it. Whereas I think other people think, well, it's just a video, it's just a photo. But like, having, not the pressure, but like having to, like, knowing that if you don't upload, people will probably think, oh, she's not uploaded. And people then change, well, this is literally your job. Like, they'll say like, oh, well, this is your job, but they don't usually say it's a job when you're doing it. They're like, oh, she just takes photos, she doesn't, like, it's not a real job. But then if you skip a day or skip a video, it's like, this is literally your job, what you doing? It's like, well, I thought it was my job.
I thought it wasn't a job.
But, I think the general misconception of content creation can be quite stressful to deal with, because people have their opinions on it and they're very vocal about their opinions about it.
I think it depends the type of person you are, because necessarily for me, I wouldn't say that it's a stressful job unless you work with quite a few brands and the deadlines all come at once. I've been in that scenario before, and that can be stressful. But like, other than that, I feel like it would be quite privileged of us to say, oh yeah, it's really stressful, because you are on your own timetable, and if you don't upload, it kind of only affects you, although you'll get a few comments. I feel like my office jobs were more stressful, just because I didn't like the environment of them at all, and for me they were really stressful, whereas I'm quite chill about this job. As you'll know if you follow my channel, like, if I haven't been in the mood to film, I'm not gonna lie, I won't. And I know a lot of people will think, well, this is your job, like, I can't just skip days, and I understand that, but at the same time, this is my job, and fortunately, if I want to have a day where I don't film, I don't have to. So I think I'm just so relaxed about it. I'm like, I think
we're lucky in the sense that we can choose to take our annual leave on the day. Whereas every other job will get their annual leave, they'll book the holidays in, this, that and the other, and they take all that time off. But when we go on holiday,
when we go, we get content, because it's the perfect opportunity to get content, and you'd be kind of like foolish if you didn't take the opportunity to get content somewhere else. So although people are like, yeah, you're just missing random uploads, I'm like, yeah, but when I go away, I still produce a weekly vlog of being away, because I like it for memories, but also that's technically still working. So I'd agree with that,
Okay.
The next question is, has YouTube ever played with your mental health, and how do you deal with people like who hate, I hate that bit,
trolls. Trolls.
How do you deal with like hate?
I am quite lucky in the sense that I don't think I'm quite at the point where people really hate. I do get occasional comments, but I don't think I've ever been like trolled. If you know what I mean, like, do you know when people, like, sometimes it's like, what's the word, relentless, like constant thing. I've never had that before, so thank you, please don't start either. But like, the occasional comment, it's always the same, and it's just so like, it's like an empty comment. Like, my most common would be something like, you're fat. It's like, okay. Like, okay. Like, so, and I know that. I'm like, I'm pretty self-aware. I know that I'm overweight, but like, I'm working on it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, I don't, I wouldn't say it's like impacted me mental health as such, but I think when I first got my very first negative comment, it was very difficult not to think that everybody thought that. Whereas now, I think, well, it is what it is. Like, 99.9% of people are positive and really nice, and
100%. I think through the years I've definitely like been more affected than other times. Like, oh my god, you draw into the comments that are hate rather than all the nice ones you get. So I think it's very easy to focus on them. But I'm on the mentality, and I have been for the last 2 years, that don't like it, delete it. And if you don't know that person personally, then I don't think their opinion should matter. Like, if I'm walking down the street and somebody says they don't like my outfit, alright, but who are you? Like, why would I care? Because I like it. And I think if you live, it's like that, like, comparison thing. If you live life worried about other people's opinions, I think you'd be very sad. And I think on social media, opinions are more, you're more aware of other people's opinions of you than you are on day to day. But you have to learn to just like not care.
And I think the way I think about it is just when you mentioned about like not knowing people personally, like I think there's a quote where it's like, if you don't know them personally, don't take it personal. And I think, I don't know, I think because obviously you've been on social media years now, whereas like I'm just like little baby, so like I've probably got it to come, but like I just kind of think, well, there's another thing going around at the minute about if you're not embarrassed, then it's not embarrassing. Like, I don't know, like,
I just think you have to be strong-minded and you have to be happy within yourself, because you will get hate. And you'll be picked apart. Every part of your life, every part of your body, every decision you make will be picked apart, and it will. And I'm not going to say, oh no, like, it's easy to get over, because it's not. Sometimes you do sit and think, like, you just think about it sometimes. But I think ultimately, if you're the type of person who's going to dwell on something like that, you wouldn't be able to do social media. You have to just get over it, or else your full life you're going to just be sitting there worrying about other people and their like opinion on you.
I think, I don't know about you, but what I've noticed about negative comments is that always comes from somebody who doesn't post themselves online. So somebody who doesn't show themselves, or even like it's somebody who doesn't,
like, you don't know nothing about them.
And they always have an opinion on you but can't upload something of themselves. And they wouldn't, because I bet they're not perfect either. Like,
true.
You know, So what's the thing your opinion has changed the most on in the last 5 years?
I really liked this question when it came through. I was like, oh my god. I feel probably just life in general. So like, I feel like if I look back to 5 years ago, that was when my kind of YouTube started, and I was very much for wanting bigger and better, wanting more, wanting constant, like going to London, wanting like just always like wanting to achieve more. And that's not a bad thing, and I'm not now saying I don't want to achieve more, but what I'm saying now is being content in life isn't a failure. And I always used to think, if you're that person that like has a house and you're settled in a house and you like live that boring mundane life, you're settling and you should always want more. But I think it was the toxicity of social media, where I constantly thought, I can't be that person, I can't be in a 9 to 5, I can't be doing this, I've got to be wanting more, going to London, doing this. And honestly, like, I realised that was never what I wanted. What I wanted was like a happy, content life where I was doing a job I liked, which is literally what I've got now. And I think that's the biggest thing I've shifted on, is like realising that actually like my happiness is at home, but still doing the job I'm doing, but just at home and like creating content I like. I feel like for a lot of years that was not what I thought successful life was, or like kind of how I perceive my life. Do you know what I mean? If that makes any sense at all. I feel like it doesn't.
I get it.
What about you?
So I think with me, like, I've very much got a mindset of like, it is what it is now. So like, I think I've seen something on TikTok which kind of summed it up, and it's kind of what I've been doing over the last few years, is like 30-second way to like instantly boost your mood. And it was, write down all of your worries, cross out the ones you can't control, and deal with the ones you can. And so if there's something that you can change, change it. If there's something that you're not happy about and you can change it, change it. If you can't, drop it.
There's nothing you can do
about it.
Yeah.
And generally, when I think about that, sometimes if a scenario comes, I think, well, can I control this situation? If it's not, and I'm like, all right, in the bin. Carry on with my life.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Inspirational.
The next one is something you love about the friendship, even though I don't think you've been friends that long, which is what somebody said.
About our friendship?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mine is that we do the same job. Just because it means that like more often than not there's somebody to do things with. And I think a lot of my friends, although some of them do social media, it's part-time, so they have other jobs. And I think finding someone in Newcastle who does it full-time as well was really good, because it's like we've had so many content days already. We've got one planned next week, we're doing one this week, so like we just like of being able to kind of like connect closer on that thing. That would be mine.
I think mine's pretty similar, but then I also love that like we are very similar in general, I think. Like not just in the YouTube thing. I think we've got a lot of the same like, I don't know, like opinions on things. Like most of the things that we've said in this video have been like, oh yeah, I agree.
I agree with you.
But
even when we're having generalised conversations off camera, a lot of the time we would say the same thing about something, like our opinion on it. So I think that's worked well as well. And I think that's probably how we've got closer quicker. Because we're quite similar. So well, that's a cute one.
If you could change something about your life right now, what would it be?
Okay. That's hard.
I think for me it would be that friggin' wall. I want to knock the wall down in my kitchen. I want it gone.
The wall.
The damn wall. Something materialistic. Like I don't think any major changes.
No.
Just something materialistic, to be honest. I'm quite content with everything.
I think for me it would be to get in a better habit with food. I'm still really struggling with my food. I just go out all the time, and then obviously I have food when I like come in, or I'm really struggling with food. So I think to be in a place where I feel happier with food. I talked about it, if you watch my channel, I do talk about how I have like binge eating disorder, and I talk about it on like what I eat in a day, but I've never like, I'm getting better, but I'm still not where I'd like to be. I think I'd like to just like be in a much better, healthier place with it, because I'm not really there. Like I'm doing well, I'm going to the gym and I'm getting much better at being active and out, but ultimately when it comes to food I'm still not, I just crave food all the time. I'm really like, I'm always hungry.
No, you'll get there. It's like, do you know what it is though? I think if somebody had asked me that question 2 months ago, I think I'll probably be the same, because my relationship with food has always been very rocky, and like I wouldn't say that I have an eating disorder, but it would be more disordered eating. Because there is a difference between that. It's just kind of the sense of like a all or nothing kind of view on things. So I'm either all on it or all off it. But I think now I'm kind of in a place where I've realised that I can actually treat myself and not feel guilty for it.
I think when I'm like obviously trying to be healthier this time around, I'm doing it a lot healthier mindset wise. For example, like my PT, because I told him I struggled with it, he was just like, look, don't look at your calories, look at it out like that. He's like, in your mind, subconsciously reduce portion. So he said like, if you're going for a meal, still go for that meal and enjoy it, but just have one course rather than 3 or 2. And that's really helped, because another thing as well, like my local does like burgers, and if I'm getting a burger, instead of getting burger and chips, I'll get burger and salad, because you're already having your burger with your bun and stuff. And little things like that I'm getting like in the habit of doing, and they're definitely helping. But then there'll just be some times where I'm in the house and I'll eat like a full 6-pack of crisps, like just eat them, and people say don't get them in, and I'm totally agree with that, but sometimes I just like a crisp.
To be fair, I've done that before.
Have you? Like,
sometimes I'll
but then once I do that, it then goes on okay, but I've had the crisps, now I'll have the biscuits. And before you know it, like this is the thing with binge eating, before you know it, you don't even kind of realise you're doing it. You just pick them up and eat them, and then you're like, fuck, I've ate a full pack of crisps, like a full 6-pack of crisps, I've had a full tub of biscuits, then you're like, I've demolished 2 yogurts, and then you realise, and you're like,
realise quite how much has been.
So I think it's definitely getting a lot better, and I know I will get there, but it is just like still not where I'd like it to be. Next one is a bad habit you have, or something you do when no one is watching. I think my bad habit, well, I bite my nails, which is a really bad habit, I hate that. I
think I'm quite open, you know. I've burped in front of you. I don't know if I've farted yet.
No, I don't think you have yet.
I'm more of a burper than a fart, to be fair, but I don't know, like I probably, it's more the fact, my bad habit's more the fact that I don't do it behind closed doors.
You're just out there. Okay, so my bad habit, or the thing I do is, so where I film in my spare room in the house, I film my clothing holes in there. It's got no blinds on the window, just an open, it's got curtains, but when I'm filming and I change in front of the window. And Sean will often go, what the fuck you doing, man? Shut the windows. And I'm like, yeah, but everyone's at work, it's the middle of the day. And I kind of do hide in the corner of the room, but in certain places you would see. And that's really bad. I need to just stop being a lazy bitch and either close the curtain or go in the bathroom, but I don't.
I think I've done that before, but I think because when I do my reels in the kitchen, like I'll just go around the corner and I just think anyone will see us.
Yeah, I've got the mindset that no one will see. I'm waiting for the day someone sees, and I'd be like,
no. I think because I live in like quite a close, like what is it, cul-de-sac?
Yeah.
Like everyone knows everyone's business in my street, and we all get on along very well.
So you don't care if they get a slip.
Well, yeah, but then at the same time, like I just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing us in my underwear is the same as seeing us in a bikini. It's
that's
not
what
like,
I say, but sometimes this is bra off if I'm changing a bra.
Okay, I'm not quite that bad.
This sometimes can be all there,
right.
So it's a really bad habit. Okay, the next one is, what would you say the hardest thing you've been through life so far is?
For me, I think not just the pandemic in general, but like a lot happened during the pandemic, which like, so one of my friends who I went to school with, we kind of lost contact after school and things, but we were still, you know, if we saw each other in the street, we'd be like friendly and things. She died, unfortunately, of an eating disorder.
Really?
About a week later, another friend died of suicide. And then a couple of weeks after that, my dad had a heart attack. So that was a lot to process in one...
Like, small time.
Yeah. So...
God.
Yeah.
Mine would be bereavement as well. 2016 I lost my dog and my granddad, and then that was like, but that's the only bereavement I've experienced. So when it both happened in that year, I got like major death anxiety.
Yeah.
Have you had it before?
No. Oh. What is it?
Oh god.
Like that people are dying or that you're gonna die?
It's a bit of both, but mine was more so people.
Right.
Or that like family members, friends, like it just like you constantly think, because my granddad died really suddenly on holiday, we were in Centre Parks, and I think that was where I was like, fuck, people can just die, and that's the end of it. But that was my hardest.
Are you currently on a diet, either of you? So I am and I'm not. I'm like, I think diet culture in the last like however long has changed quite a lot, but I would say that I'm conscious of what I'm eating at the minute.
You're aware.
Yeah, and I do have a protein goal with my PT, so like but that helps with the sort of eating consciously, because like if I'm eating enough protein, then it's going to keep me full. So, and I'm more kind of open with the types of food that I eat now, but I would say that I am technically on a diet because I'm wanting to lose weight and feel better about myself, but I'm not like being really strict with myself. So
yeah, I would say pretty similar. I'm not calorie counting like anything or watching anything, but I'm just trying to be more aware. Like I said earlier, like with the going out and swapping like chips for salad and stuff. So just more aware. I wouldn't necessarily say I'm on a diet. It's like if I get asked to go out, I'll go, and I'm still like having drink and stuff. So. Yeah,
I think sometimes like sticking yourself on a really strict diet will more than often end in failure, because it's like I say, it's like an all or nothing approach, but
yeah, it can have the adverse effect, can't it?
Because it's better to lose, if your goal is to lose weight, it's better to lose it gradually and slowly, because it'll be longer term, rather than lose like a massive amount of weight in a short period of time for it then to
as soon as you
go
eat
back
normal
on,
again,
because
you're going to put it on.
Yeah, because thinking, right, I've been really good over this last couple of months, I'm going to treat myself, and that treat yourself then just goes, well, that's it. So.
The next one says your biggest goal in life.
Just be happy. Just be happy with just literally be happy with where we're at. I think I'm like speaking for you, where we're at.
Where we're at.
Yeah, just like
because I think you can have materialistic goals all your life, and they're great to have. I have them myself, you'll have yours, but I think ultimately, like, if you are lying on your deathbed, what you're going to look back at the most, how many houses you managed to buy and renovate and sell, or you're going to look back at, was your life actually happy? And I think if you can sit there and say, no matter what path your life took, if you're happy, that's a goal. I just think so.
I think part of that would be, for my like being happy goal, would be to create memories as well, of like, not like you say, if you're on your deathbed, not look back at your life and think, why didn't I do that?
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Last one. Do you discuss brand deals and the job together since you both do influencing?
Yeah, just like anybody in the same job would, I guess.
Yeah, I think because like social media is such a like almost, it's not like a closed occupation, but like like where do you discuss how much you should charge and stuff, like there's no set rates or anything like that. It's
very much a job you learn as you go.
Yeah, and it depends on the brand, on what they want, on like every price is different.
Something went wrong. Please try again.
Oh gee, he doesn't like that.
Sorry, Siri. Yeah, because it's so different. I think sometimes like, I don't know, I'd be more inclined to like message Demi and be like, do you think I'm being stingy with this, or do you think I should charge more, or whatever, just because like it's good to have someone else in the same profession.
And you kind of know if you're like ballparking yourself right as well, like obviously when you first got into it, like who is the ask, even when I did, which was like 6 years ago, who is the ask if I'm being asked by a brand what my rate is? Well, what is my rate? How do I know? So I think just like any job, if you work in an HR team or you know, you speak with your colleagues about things, and we do the same. So yeah, we do.
But yes, that was the last question.
Yes.
I feel like this has been a very lengthy video. So if you've made it to the end, let us know in the comments, and bloody well done. But yeah, so yes, thank you for coming on my channel.
Right. Thanks for having us.
I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If there's any more questions you want to know, stick them in the comments below. We might do a part 2.
Yes, definitely.
So yes, if you have enjoyed it, please hit the thumbs up, go and hit the subscribe button below, and if you want to be notified when I do upload next, then hit the bell as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.